So hello and welcome back. Tonight it's just a very quick wild camp. So I think it's about 7:30 now. Aim to be back home 7:30, 8 o'clock. So in my bag I've got sleeping system, so no particular order: tarp, hammock, sleeping bag, under blanket. There might have been a bit of an order there. So under blanket, I've got an under blanket, so that's like a sleeping bag that goes on the outside. I've tried roll mats before, but as I'm in the hammock and I roll, sometimes I'll pop out, and with that insulation being squashed around my derriere, my bottom, and then the breeze underneath the hammock, it gets cold. So the under blanket's there just as a form of insulation, so I sleep soundly. Litre of water, 6 mini pork pies, they're in the cheap aisle, and my drone for in the morning. That's it. So my drone doesn't have GPS, it purely works on a sensor on the bottom to figure out its height. So it pretty much is like a selfie drone really. So it's, I'll tell it what to do in terms of orbit, zoom out, follow, bird's eye. I've recently just unlocked the manual mode, so we'll see if we can get that up tonight and just watch me walk in the dark. So we'll see. But yeah, let's jump to site now. I've got to find 2 trees that are the right distance apart. Ground undulation doesn't matter because I'm stringing myself up, so I'm not actually on the ground, so it doesn't matter how the ground lays. But yeah, let's crack on. Well, you won't believe this. So I did a wild camp, I think it was I think it might have been about a fortnight ago, and I stayed in between 2 of the most perfect trees. So I've come to them 2 trees, this one and this one. Branch, look at that. So it's a hefty, well, it's not even a branch, it's 2/3 of this tree and it's severed. I guess I'll find somewhere else. Oh well, outside of my control, let it go, Tom. Let's find somewhere else. Right, change of plan. We are back here. I'm just drawn to this site. So luckily I've got the trusty penknife, so doesn't matter about that. Last time I was on the floor, this time I'm elevated, doesn't matter about that. Lock that off, lock that off. Last time the tarp was just touching the floor. I'll have to raise it slightly, 9 inch further up the tree. That's okay. So the wind is coming this way, so if I have a straight side that side, open that side, that should be okay. Right, let's get to it. Okay, bit of an issue. I've got to take ownership of this. I've brought the wrong penknife. It doesn't have a saw on it. My other one does. So I don't like this, because technically I think they call these areas golf courses. So it is a bit of a sort of stealth camp. I guess I'll have to snap him. Right, that is my fault, 100% my fault. Lesson learned. Right, so this is the last section of the top to go in, but because it's in a pine wood, the soil isn't the best, so I'll split the tension between two pegs with some distance between them. Push that in, and we'll do one of the most gorgeous knots I've learned. So it's very similar to a prusik for when you're climbing. So 1, 2, 3. I'll put an extra one in, go over, back through, cinch it down, through, pull that through, and you can just put tension on there. It keeps your tent or your tarp nice and taut. So this is a setup up to now. So we've got the hammock, this side could be better. I've now got the under blanket to put on, so I've put some prusik loops just up here so I can put some tension and keep it nice and taut. It does work because I've done the old sit test. There we go. So this will be my home for the night. Cozy. So this is the final setup. So we've got the tarp, hammock, under blanket on the outside, sleeping bag on the inside. There's my net that comes down. I've got a cord on the top. I've got sort of pocket up here for phones, this GoPro. My shoes will remain outside. My bag, she's got more tarp, I'll just hang up down there. Reason I opted for this tarp, this hammock actually came with a tarp that fitted onto your cord that you tied around. So with these, they're designed to be slept diagonally, so you're sleeping flatter, whereas if you were to sleep along it, you're in that banana, whereas if you sleep diagonally, it creates a much flatter surface. So it was an asymmetrical tarp, so it was larger on one side and shorter to accommodate that sleeping pattern, whereas this is a hex, so it's symmetrical either side and it's separate to the hammock, so when I put weight on I don't get that slack. So I've put a lot of tension on that, so that will remain like that until I take it down. That's pretty much it. Right, got some snacks, got my pillow, can't travel without a good pillow. That's about it. I'm going to watch the stars now because they are rather nice. Man, that light is bright. Yeah, I slept okay. Time is now 6:30. Gosh, that is bright. Time is now 6:30. I'll have a lazy morning, I think. Might listen to some tunes for about 20 minutes, half an hour before I make a move. But yeah, I don't know if you can hear it, but the wind has picked up somewhat. I've been in this not situation before, but where so I did actually last night, I should have said this, I did actually check the tree canopy for any sort of dead limbs. I've heard the odd branch hit the tarp, so that woke me up. I don't know what time it were. But yeah, what has happened before is that I've been asleep enough to dream but alert enough to acknowledge what's sort of going on. And I was out near Lady Bower, and the hammock, I think it was just rocking ever so slightly like that. I could sense that, but I was dreaming, and I thought like a gamekeeper or the landowner had turned up and it was like violently rocking the hammock to try and wake me up. So yeah, I always think back to that when I'm in the hammock and it starts swaying. I mean, it is quite nice. Sorry. It is quite nice. This mesh, it allows that breeze in. So what I really like when I'm camping is being, so I'm seriously warm in this sleeping bag, but I just like that breeze across my face. Right, I'll have a chilled morning and we'll check in soon. So that sleep was actually really good. So I woke up, I think I said about 6 o'clock. I actually fell back to sleep, so the time is now near 8. I think it's 7:50, so I need to get a move on, because that is a golf course and I'm still fully set up, so I need to get a move on. But I consider this to be a success. So there we go, leave no trace. I had tree huggers, I don't know if you saw them. So they just go around the tree, it's like a seatbelt material. Just like protects the tree slightly more. Leave no trace, I like that. Now, last time I came, I walked along the golf course, but I work in a very similar profession to this, and I've used the exact same machines. Now I recognise the sound of a three-cylinder diesel Yanmar engine, and that's what I can hear. So, and I think I've just seen one on the fairway just up there. So instead of making myself obvious, I'll just, so there is a fence line just further down there, so I'll just hug that, jump over, and I'm onto a public footpath. But yeah, this has been that's the branch that was causing me bother last night. Let's head down here, Tom. I consider it to be a successful trip. I'd have liked to have got the drone up last night, just to sort of just look at not how remote, but just how isolated you are sometimes. But it didn't like it, so it's only a very cheap sort of selfie. Oh wow, look at this, some bike jumps. Didn't know they were there. Yeah, consider it a successful trip. I'll jump onto this little trail here that someone's kindly left me, and we're back onto the footpath. So with it being slightly more sheltered here, we can get the drone up.